Hello Pisces, welcome to your April 2025 reading. My name is Nigel and you have found alchemy. I don't know if you listened to your spring reading. I did summarize your April, May, and June, and I made it a point to upload those readings first. And these particular cards in your center were already pulled from that reading, and as promised, here they are. We're going to expand upon them and build a reading around them. So let's get started right away. We have the Four of Wands here, and as we know, the Four of Wands is a very good card. In this particular deck, the only correspondence for this card is fire. So it is a fire card. We know that the Four of Wands is also a celebration card. It could mean that you're receiving support. It could mean that you're on holiday. It could mean that you've achieved some semblance of success. It could be family happiness. This could represent buying a home. Either way, it's some sort of happy thing. It's a happy passing. It's like a finish line of some kind here. You do have the Knight of Pentacles coming in reverse, and you know, in my readings, this is Mercury and Virgo energy, by the way, but it is the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck, right? It gets what it needs to get done. He, or I should say he or she, but he moves at a very slow pace. When he comes in reverse in my readings, I generally look at it like things are starting to speed up, right? And you have here, and you know, they're starting to speed up, and he carries with him some sort of a gift. Now, this is alongside the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups is Sun and Scorpio. And this is it speaks of past love. It speaks of childhood. So this could be your family. We don't know yet, but it could be your family, but there could be something resurfacing from your past because you do have the cards of memory, nostalgia. Now, for maybe one of you, this could represent the family home, right? It could very well represent that. But I tend to think that this might represent a lost love or an old love, something coming round again here. Past returns, maybe. The advice here, and see, here is that pentacle. Remember when I said the Knight of Pentacles is coming very quickly with a gift? Here it is right here, right? But this is in the advice column. Be open to this opportunity. Now, this opportunity, there's sometimes people come back in our lives because they're meant to. You're meant to take a break from someone, and then you're meant to pick it right back up. Some people are meant to come back into our lives to teach us a lesson. The lesson could have been learned a while ago, and maybe you're relearning it. Very well could be. But whatever is going on in this situation, I really feel was meant to happen, is meant to happen. So it's very karmic. It represents happiness to you. It definitely represents happiness to you. Okay, so let's move on and see what this is about. You have the Mystic here, and this is number 21 in this deck. And the Mystic is the seeker, the dreamer, a patient and sort of prudent person who elicits change, makes change, a visionary, a light worker, very Piscean, in my opinion, very Piscean. And this could represent you, you know, you could be looking to make changes in your life. You could be that visionary. You could label yourself as a light worker. For some of you, that may very well be true. You do have here the copper. And, you know, copper is a Venus, believe it or not. And I see Venus right here, so that's kind of interesting. But copper is represented by the planet Venus. It's Venus energy, fertility. There is something awakening here. Copper is also a conduit, right? Interesting. There is information coming to you, and it is love-based. So if you're not looking for a love reading, I'm really thinking that you're in the wrong place today. This is for a Pisces who needs a love reading, okay? Not all Pisces will. So I figured I would get that out of the way first so we don't waste each other's time here. But you do have the planet Venus here. And, you know, like I said, the planet Venus came up over here and it came up over here. And where should we start with Venus? Venus rules Libra and Taurus. On April 7th, we have Venus in Pisces, sextile Uranus in Taurus. And on that day, love is likely to bloom or rebloom. Something from the past could rebloom. On April 12th, we have Venus in Pisces. Venus goes direct in Pisces. All right. So any wounds from the past, it's time to nurse. This person, like I said at the beginning of the reading, sometimes people come back into our lives for different reasons. Perhaps this person is coming back to fix something, to fix a wound. Maybe it's up to you to fix a certain wound. Maybe you're missing something in this situation because you're idealizing it. That's possible too. I mean, I've done that myself. But use that Venus direct in Pisces energy to forgive any past discretions. It's time for forgiveness, whether you're forgiving yourself or someone else. Um, mhm. On April 20th, you have Venus in Pisces, sextile Uranus and Taurus. Shoot your shot that day. If you're going to shoot your shot, that's the day to do it for sure. And also on the 24th, on April 24th, Venus in Pisces conjunct Saturn in Pisces, another love day. You either dream or do on that day. I'm seeing towards mid to end of the month. It looks very, very, look, on April 30th, Venus enters Aries. And man, that is a fiery energy, right? Flirt, get passionate, fall in love. That's the day to do it. That is the time. Looks like the end of the month is really going to be good for you as far as that goes. Here, Pisces, you do have the number 3, and it says, I am charismatic, right? You may be very charismatic this month. It seems as though, right? Expression comes naturally to you. You're very skilled at communicating your thoughts through conversation and creative pursuits. You are able to get others on board with your ideas. It says, I am charismatic. The number 3 is linked to the planet Jupiter, planet of luck and expansion, the planet of Sagittarius. That might or might not mean something to you here, Pisces. Okay, so let's move on to this side. Let's look at this first. You have the card of victory. I like this, right? It is number 35 in this deck. It says, I shall celebrate, I shall rise, I will let victory make me wise. And what's interesting is you see the cup, right? Victory and love, as far as I'm concerned. And the fact that this is coming in reverse, if you've watched any of my readings, you know that when this particular deck comes in reverse, this is going to be something that is going to happen naturally for you this month. Some kind of victory is afoot. Now, this victory could be a reimagining of an old relationship. This could be a reawakening of feelings. This could be something that had to reemerge for you to sort of put it behind you. It could be any of those things. What's interesting here is you do have Odin and you have Loki that came out together, and that very rarely happens. So let's take one at a time here, right? You know, it does pay to mention these two are blood brothers, right? They're both companions and they're enemies. Loki saves Odin at one point from 3 giants. But Loki can be a trickster. It says the cunning god of many faces, right? Yeah. The god of many faces, trickster energy. It's time to question everything. Now, these two people could represent you and someone else. It could represent what happened, you know, to break you up to begin with. You have somebody here who has trickster energy. There's a bond between these two people regardless. But you have trickster energy on the one hand and you have Odin here, right? And he sets out to find the truth. He is a truth seeker. Loki can be a prankster. He can be a trickster. He could have deceptive energy sometimes. But when the chips are down, they have each other's back. So it's a very interesting energy, for sure. When we look at the, let's look at this. You have E, U, and D. Those are your initials for this month, and that could be someone's initials. It could be, like I always say, the name of a city, the state, a restaurant. It could be an airport. It could be literally anything. These 3 initials, by the end of the month, one of them, if not all of them, will mean something to you. So keep an open mind when it comes to it. When it comes to them, you have the acorn. So it looks like there was a seed planted some time ago, you know, with this situation. This is an old situation that's coming back. And this acorn was planted a long time ago. It looks like the story of this union were opposites that clashed, because here you have the exorcism coin. So somebody was exorcised from someone's life. Perhaps you asked this person to leave your life. Perhaps you guys went in 2 different directions. Maybe they asked you to leave. But I have to tell you, There was a seed planted that germinated anyway. You have here yeah, I mean, this goes with Loki. You have the earring of deception. Somebody was deceptive towards someone else. Someone else picked up a sword and saw the truth, and history was in the making at that point. This person looks like they are going to reemerge into your life for better or for worse. Now, let's look at your tarot. Here are your three legs. And, it's been coming back to me. Some people message me and tell me that the first leg came out during the last leg. And these three legs, this is not a science. And this is also a general reading. So, yes, your second leg could be your first leg. Just imagine this. Instead of going chronologically, for some of you, it absolutely will go chronologically. But for others of you, just imagine that these are three separate legs, and they will come in the order they're supposed to come in for your individual situation. Let's look at the first leg. You have disharmony. Yeah, it says conflict triggers. I believe that this is speaking about the basis of your relationship from the past here. There was conflict. You did trigger each other. You are very, very different. But look at this. Wow. You have the Ace of Swords, right? And there's that sword we talked about, the sword of truth. One person looking for the truth. This is pure air energy. It is clarity. Somebody wants clarity. Maybe the ending was ambiguous. Maybe somebody wants closure. But there is someone here looking for truth, like I talked about here. And you have here the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles, Jupiter and Jupiter and Capricorn energy. And the Two of Pentacles is juggling more than one thing. It could be that trickster energy. It could be someone is juggling more than one person. It does not mean that they don't feel a very strong attraction and bond in this situation. It's a confusing situation. It's like when someone is attracted to this flame and they can't help but burn themselves. They just can't help it. There is an inexplicable attraction here on the table. You have the Four of Wands again in the upright. Four of Wands, Four of Wands. Venus and Aries energy in this deck. Happy conclusion. Playing house again. Harmony. There's a very strong indication that one of you or both of you look at each other like you find your happiness within each other, and at the same time you find your pain within each other. It is, it is that cup. It is that cup energy. It is that Venus energy. It's rather sad if you think about it. When we add this up, this column, and we break it down, we get Neptune, which is perfect for you, Pisces. For other signs, they may feel confused. You do run the risk of being a little delusional, and I don't think it's just coming from you. I think sometimes when we revisit old relationships, it could happen, right? Where we just think of all the good things, or we think about how great we feel in the moment, being with this human being again. But also, Neptune is known as the higher octave of Venus. So in some strange way, Venus has come out again in your reading. And there's conflict here. It could be internal conflict for one of you. So we'll keep that under our hats as we go along here. You do have winter rebirth, definitely Scorpio energy. There is something being reborn. There is something coming out of something cold, something, I mean, it just is. Let's look at this. You have you have the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is Mercury in Aquarius, healing, trying to heal something, transitioning from one place to another, transitioning to a better place. And it is not just one person in that boat, right? Typically, there are two people in the boat with most of these cards. Now, what's interesting here in the center of your reading, you do have the Three of Cups here in reverse. And the Three of Cups is Mercury and Cancer energy. And you may come across some opposition here, okay? And when I say that, it could be people in your life that are trying to tell you, no, what are you doing? Don't do that. Or in the other person's life, people getting involved, outside influences getting involved. But it looks like these people are being cut off if they try to start anything like that. Sometimes two people are brought together for reasons that it's very difficult to explain to another person. You have these two cards that came out together. You have the Six of Wands and the Nine of Cups in reverse. What an interesting combination that is. So the Six of Wands is Jupiter and Leo energy, success, recognition, right? Definitely a success card. It's more wand energy, success, pride, an accomplishment. But here you have the Nine of Cups in reverse, right? And, you know, the Nine of Cups, this is Jupiter and Pisces energy. And this could be a little known fact about this card, and it only applies to certain readings. It could represent being honest with yourself about what you want, what you truly want, not what you say you want, not what sounds good to other people, but you're trying to voice what it is you want. And when we add this up, before we add this up, it's good to take note that there are 2 sixes on this leg, and the 2 sixes are favorable for love readings, right? They just are. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Venus again. Yeah, this is a very strong love reading. It is very strong. It is an inexplicable attraction to that which has hurt us in the past. And I don't know one person who does. I mean, if you live long enough, this happens to you for sure. Now here on your final leg, and this, remember, your final leg could be your first leg, depending on who I'm talking to. You do have a feminine energy here. Now, this could be someone you are dealing with, or if you are feminine, you're dealing with a masculine energy. The feminine side of you, whether you're male or female, is your intuitive side. It is water. It is Piscean, right? There is something that your gut is telling you, something other people may not agree with. Here you have the King of Cups. And the King of Cups, depending on the deck, could be Sun in Scorpio, or in many decks, he is Sun in Pisces. So male or female, the King of Cups is emotionally balanced. Head and heart are in sync. He knows what he wants. Very stable human being. But the other person in this situation is the Magician in reverse. And that, my God, is Loki personified. Yeah. Yeah, there is someone here who, and you know, the Magician could be Aquarius, Aries, or Gemini. It depends on what deck you use, what book you read, you know. For me, it's an Aquarian, but I just needed to throw out there that there are people that interpret it differently. But Magician energy in reverse is usually always the same, right? It's either feeling that you don't have the tools to complete something, or it is trickster energy. It is manipulative energy. Now, someone could care for you. Someone could be attracted to you. Someone could be all those things and still be who they were, which is why you broke up in the first place. Still be a liar, still be deceptive, still be all those things, and make you feel good. It's just the damnedest thing, right? So this person could be coming back, you know, to, let's not get ahead of ourselves. You also have the Queen of Pentacles here, and the Queen of Pentacles is Saturn and Capricorn energy. And the Queen of Pentacles is basically an archetype that is caring, nurturing, whether you're male or female, thinking of others before herself, always putting others first, other people's needs ahead of hers. Unlike the King of Pentacles, which would be a little different. This is the watery side of Earth. So it is someone who is self-sacrificing, not to the point of absurdity, but still definitely a little bit more self-sacrificing than any of the other queens. Except maybe the Queen of Cups. But I do think the Queen of Pentacles is a very nurturing caregiver. So you have a trickster energy here, and you also have someone who is well balanced and puts other people before themselves. When we add this up and we break it down, we get the number 1, which is the Sun, right? At the end of the day, it makes you happy. At the end of the day, it makes you unhappy. At the end of the day, the Sun illuminates everything. So it's a pretty interesting dynamic. You don't see this in readings too often, so I'm sure this is a pretty specific reading. Now let's look at the challenges. I think we've kind of noted the challenges, but one of the challenges you're going to have, and it really doesn't surprise me to see this, is you have these decisions to make. Something's coming back from the past. Something makes you very happy, but something also reminds you of why it is you broke up with this person to begin with. So there is a place here where happiness lies and at the same time unhappiness lies. So you have decisions to make here. And you have the Page of Cups here in reverse, and this is Moon in Cancer, and this could be looked at as an obsessive card, a mini addiction, if you will, right? You could be addicted to one another. And I've been in that situation myself. You have the King of Pentacles here, and don't forget this is your challenges, right? You have the King of Pentacles here, right? And what did I say? The Queen of Pentacles is the watery side of Earth, and unlike the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles is, I mean, he's a great human being, but he is a lot more self-serving than his Queen. He's more about materialism and long-term investments, and there's no water, right? It's no water there. He's Earth. And so it's very different energy, right? Or this could also mean that one part of the decision you're making here is your long-term stability. Yes, I'm happy with this person. Yes, they excite me. They make me feel great. I'm very attracted to them. But what about my long-term future? Are they really good for me? You have the Ten of Pentacles, and it does, the Ten of Swords. It also, before I forget, we talk about this person coming back. And this very well could be someone that you were with that has come back. But this could be someone from a past life. If you don't believe in that, then disregard what I'm about to say. If you have any belief in that at all, take note that sometimes the karmic wheel does turn and people are thrown back into our lives to see what we'll do this time, right? Because they are a karmic partner, right? From a past life together. So, we'll keep that under our hat. We do have Pluto and Gemini here, right? The Ten of Swords. Now, the Ten of Swords is something that it's a challenge, right? Do you want to risk this again? This is when the Magician reverse turns on you. And I think you're well aware of this because it's decisions. You're thinking about the past. You're thinking about your spidey senses tingling. You're saying, oh, exciting, but happy. Yeah, but what about the future? Is this good for my long-term stability? When we add this up and we break it down, we get Pluto energy, right? We get that Scorpio energy. We get that, where is it? We get that winter, that rebirth. But what comes before rebirth? Death. Yeah. All right. So you have in your opportunities pile, you have two of these oracle cards. One says growth and one says, it's not really surprising, temptation and deception. Wow. So don't forget, this is your opportunity pile. So you have an opportunity here for growth, to get past that winter, go straight to the summer and grow from this experience. Remember when I said some people come back into our lives for reasons other than permanency, like not everything lasts forever. In fact, most things don't. And the reason why most things don't is because they come into our lives to teach us things about ourselves, about our life, about what we want, about what we don't want, about how we've grown, right? Since the last time we've seen them. So our choices might be different. So there is an opportunity for growth in this situation, which is why it is happening. And here it is. You have an opportunity to handle this deception, this temptation differently. Yes, he or she is extremely tempting. But this is a decision you're going to have to make for yourself. What is good for your long-term growth? Is this person going to bump heads with you, or are they going to fit together? And are you going to join hands and walk? It's going to be, listen, it's not for me to tell you what to do. Some people have to go through this again. Some people have to go through this 3 more times. Some people never go through it. So our path is different, and it's not for anyone to tell you yes or no. You have to figure this out. I'm just telling you what I see. And if it's resonating with you, that means it's your situation. Now, here in your opportunities column as well, you do have the Chariot here in reverse. And the Chariot in reverse is Cancer energy no matter what. But you have the opportunity to adjust your stride before proceeding. The Chariot, as we know, is like we grab the reins, we go full force, straight ahead. No time to do anything except move, right? When he comes in reverse, when this card comes in reverse, it is a time to regroup before proceeding. And I think that is very wise. It's always wise in every reading, no matter what, because the very next card you have is the card of rushing in, is the Mercury in Gemini, the Knight of Swords, moving forward with confidence after that pause. Now, are you moving towards this person, or are you running away? It's going to be different for all of you. It's going to be a choice, a decision. That's your burden this month, making this choice. There's seeds that have been planted a long time ago. Someone was asked to leave your life, or someone did leave your life. There was a sword drawn, and here is that sword again in the knight's hand. Maybe this knight has a sword drawn to search for the truth. Maybe the truth is elusive, but there is an opportunity here to find something. Here you have you have the Queen of Pentacles here in reverse, right? That Saturn and Capricorn energy again, like we talked about over here. Now, what did I say about that? I said she gives to others. She thinks about others before herself. She's very giving. She's a watery side of the watery side of Earth. Very, very nurturing to others. But here in your opportunities pile, you, my friend, male or female, are thinking about yourself. You're like, the hell with that. I have to think about me. I'm not going to put myself on a cross for this person or any other person. I'm going to think about myself and what's good for my long-term future, my long-term happiness. Your happiness is on the table. So you need to choose wisely here, Pisces. When we add this up and break it down, we get your energy. We get Neptune, right? Your own ruling planet is coming to you as an opportunity to shed the illusion and to move into a more stable place. Make the right choice, because even if you feel like you've never met this person before, you have. All right. Give me something for Pisces. You have the High Priestess, and that's another one of your cards. It says intuitive, unconscious, and inner voice. Listen to your inner voice. And also, she keeps things to herself, male or female. She mulls things over, and that could be that Chariot in reverse energy, right? Stopping to really think about things without verbally sharing them with someone else. At the bottom of the deck here, you have strength. You are stronger than you know, right? That Leo energy, that sun energy. You have the strength to do this. As a matter of fact, that's the whole point, right? It's to show you that you have the strength. It's to show you that you've grown as a person and that you value yourself. You value yourself more than maybe you did before. Okay, let's do your numerology. Okay, so when we add up all the numbers in this reading and we break it down, we get Uranus, believe it or not. And that's Aquarius energy, but more than that, it is change. It is unexpected change. It is leveling up. It is innovation. It is a new version of you. And that's good. It's good. It's perfect. It goes with everything we said. As far as numbers go, the number that was talked about the most was number 6, and that is the number associated with Venus. Your planet that we talked about the most, meaning it was definitely, I don't mean just in idle conversation, I mean it was attached astrologically to these cards, was Venus. By far it was Venus, which is more of that Taurus Libra energy. Yeah. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. I had to let my dog out. As far as signs go, we talked about Libra, Leo, Aquarius, Aries, Taurus, Scorpio, Pisces, Capricorn, Gemini, and Cancer. The sign that we talked about the most, well, there's 2 that were neck and neck. It was Pisces, and you probably will sit there and say, well, of course, it's Pisces reading, but many, many times, in fact, more times than not, that's not the case. So, but Pisces came out the most, and neck with Taurus, which is that Venus energy again, right? So you have that Neptune Venus energy going on that we talked about over and over and over again. Your lucky numbers are 35, 21, 3, 23, 4, and 10. So when this comes round, for whoever's reading this is, choose wisely, my friend. Namaste.